Beautiful smile behind the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know you. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Awesome. Great memories there. To begin our open sharing time, there is a friend in Florida who wasn't able to come. But Katie has sent a video of her sharing. So we're going to start the open sharing with Katie's video.
Hi everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. Try not to make anybody cry. We're doing a celebration of life, not a sad time. I'm Katie Lunick. I am family to the Pies and to Jenny. Jenny and I work together at Family Christian in Highland. And immediately, if you know this family, you know that you're family right away. When they accept you and they love you, and that's exactly what happened. Jenny, like I said, worked with me at Family Christian, and one day Chuck and Cheryl came to pick her up to take her home, and she introduced me to them, and immediately I felt like there was a connection. Cheryl and I talked, and Chuck, and talked for a long time. My husband Jim talked to Chuck as well, and pretty sure it was way past dark when we got done talking. But and then as years went by, it stayed that way. Anytime I saw Cheryl, we just picked up like there was nothing, like we hadn't missed a day, missed a beat. And just the sweetest person that you could ever meet. And anybody that knows Cheryl knows that she loved with her whole heart. She would do anything for her family. Her girls, her son, her husband meant everything to her. We can only wish that we could be as strong and love as hard as she did. And she's still loving us from heaven. I just can't say enough good stuff. I can't explain why God chose her to go home, to get her wings, but He did. And I can't say we're not left with no voids, and we're not left heartbroken, but we are. But again, it's not about the missing you. It's about what a wonderful person you were, and what a deep connection you had with the people that you loved, and just about everybody you met were people that you loved. I just want to take a second and tell you, Cheryl, I know you're watching us from heaven, and I just want you to know that I'll always be here for your kids, for your husband, anytime they need to talk, anytime they need me, and I'm here for them. Not like you were. Not ever trying to take the mama place, but I will try to guide them and love them. Not nearly as much as you did, because nobody could do that. But I'll love them as much as I can, as hard as I can. So, I just want you to rest easy and know that we'll get through it. They'll get through it together, like everything that happens, they get through together. And anytime they need me, I'm here. That's all I can think of to say, you guys. Wonderful family. And I thank them for inviting me in. I love you guys all.
She was in a car accident, right, recently, so she wasn't able to travel. So you have two options for open sharing. You can come up to the stage, or I can come to you with a microphone, whichever you would like. So anyone like to share? Go ahead. All right.
Hello, guys. Hello? Hello? Okay, there we go. You guys are gonna love this. Cheryl and I got a lot of memories. I could talk for midnight and tell you all the things I know, but I'm not going to do that. So, the one particular thing, I've got to say this, I thought about it and I thought, this is perfect. Have you guys ever heard of Orange Julius?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Cheryl was the manager there, and I had already had a job, but she wanted to know if I wanted to work there and make extra money for Christmas. I said, sure. You know, I only worked there a month. And I said, why? Anyway, there was one particular day, I can't remember which day it was, but I would go to work there after my first job, and then, you know, I'd be kind of tired. And so there was one day that Cheryl, she asked me to do something, get a bucket of water, soap, you know, and a rag, and wipe down the cabinets. Well, back then, I was in my teens, you know, and you tell a teenager to clean, it's like pulling teeth. It doesn't happen. Well, anyway, I told her no. I said, I'm not doing it, right? So she said, yes, you are going to do it. You know, that couple word, yeah, it's true. And I told her, I said, I don't care what you say. And I was thinking, well, I'm her fiance. We were engaged to be married, right? So I said, well, she's not going to do anything to me. So she asked me to do it again. I told her no. I said, I'm not doing that. You know, today I would get a bucket of water and I would go do it. Back then I did. So I told her no. She goes, if you don't do it, I'm going to fire you. And I thought, no, she's not going to do that. She wouldn't do that to me. So she asked me one more time. She goes, are you going to do what I told you to do? And I said, no, I'm not doing it. And she goes, you're fired. And I said, you're firing me? I mean, I'm your fiance. She goes, you're my employee. So I said, oh boy. So I said, I'm not leaving. And she goes, well, I'll call my mother. Now, her mother was the district manager of Orange Cooley. She was in control of the southern stores in the area. So she called her mom and she says, I told Chuck to do something for me and he refused to do it. She goes, what did you tell him to do? I told him to get a bucket of water and some soap and a rag and wipe down the cabinets. And she goes, did he do it? And she said, no, he refused to do it. So I had to fire him. She goes, well, good, he's fired. So, well, anyway, so I left for Juliet. I stuck around the mall, you know, until I got off, because we all carpooled together. So we got in the car when we went home that night after closing and all that. And her and I didn't talk to each other for a while, right? And then I didn't know what was going to happen after that, but later on that night we made up. And we couldn't stay mad at each other. We just had so much love in our heart, we just couldn't stay mad. So, but that's one of the things I wanted to show you that. I don't know how many fiancés out there that would get fired by their other fiancé, but I'm one of them. So that's all I had to say, guys. Thank you.
Hey Chuck, we got some soap and water in there. You can wipe down the kitchen. That's a great story. I love that. Okay. Anyone else like to share? Here we go. Yeah, I tell you what, let's move it over here so we can see.
My first day at college was, I don't know what the day was, but I was so little, I was a baby, and Mommy loved me. So, my Mommy always loved me. Sometimes she would get mad at me. So, my Mommy always liked to do for me is help me with school, with everything. My Mommy was a great Mommy in my whole wide world. My grandma was, I loved her so much. She did everything for me too.
Thank you, Sarita.
Hi, everybody. My name's Robert. Cheryl was an aunt, not just an aunt. She was like a sister to me. One thing I remember about her that I know that I want to see hands. Does anybody remember her lollipop that she kept in her drawer? With a little, yeah, you remember. When I was a kid, I remembered that, and that's the one thing I remember about my aunt more than anything. It was something very special to her. She never ate it. She had that thing for years wrapped in plastic, just sitting in that drawer. And I remember I'm thinking like a kid, why did she ever eat this? Now it's dawned on me. Aren't we all a little bit like that? Like that candy bar in that drawer, just sitting there? You know, we're cherished by her. She's gone now. But in her place, we get strength from that. So like that candy bar that I sat there and said as a kid, I didn't quite understand. It's coming to me now as something very, very special to me. It's matured. It's become something. It's become a symbol. It's become something a lot more stronger. So that's all I want to share. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Cheryl was a great auntie. She was a very loving aunt. Yeah. I'm glad that a piece of her soul is in my heart. And a piece of my soul is in her heart.
Well, I'm going to be sharing for a few people. First of all, I had something written by my brother-in-law, Robert. He's more of a brother than a brother-in-law. He says, "My mom was one of a kind. She was kind, beautiful, smart, dependable, thoughtful, and caring. She was someone who made life easier and more enjoyable to those around her. She taught me some of the most important things in life, and showed me that helping one another, caring for one another, and loving one another is some of the best things that we can do. And I will forever be grateful that God blessed me with such a wonderful mother. I could probably write volumes upon volumes of books on the amazing and priceless things my mother did for my family and I. But if I had to sum a lot of them into one thing, it would simply be that she was there. She was there through all the good times and all the bad times. She was there for guidance, for comfort, and for companionship. She was a shoulder to cry on, a friend to confide in, and someone to rely on and look up to. I miss her more than words can express, and living without her has been one of the hardest, if not the hardest thing I've ever had to endure. But by the grace of God and the compassion and kindness of family and friends, I've been able to make it through. I hope that I can live a life that would make her proud, and to pass on all the invaluable and incredible things that she passed on to me, to those around me, and to those in my sphere of influence. I love you, Mom, and I eagerly await the day that I will see you again. Love, your man cub, Robert." And I had a few things from Jenny as well.
I wrote this a little bit ago. I'm going to try not to cry, but it means like right up at the surface. So, can everybody hear me okay? Sometimes I'm humble. So. Well, Mom, I've been trying to find the right words to express how much you mean to me. I never thought I would have to write something like this so soon in life. I tried to write this several times, but the words never seemed right. How do you sum up in words how much one person means to you, especially when that person is your mom? The answer to that is simple. No words can sum you up, but I'll try my best even though they won't do you justice. You were and still are the most amazing, kind, loyal, loving mother that I could have ever asked for. I don't know how I got so blessed to have you as my mom, but it's something I'm very thankful for. Whenever I needed you, you were there. It didn't matter what time of day it was. I would call in the middle of the night to ask for her, for help of any kind, and you were there to help me. I used to take for granted the mundane routine of my life. Going to work, hanging out of the house, heading home, and sometimes going to Disneyland with you and the rest of our family. I used to sometimes wish for the routine to change. Now as I'm having to write this, all I want to sit back. I want those days back because they were not mundane. They were precious because we were all together, and most of all, you were here. You have always been one of my biggest supporters and someone that looked up to you. Someone that didn't have to be blood related for you to love them and to view them as your own. You may not have always known what to say, but you were always there, even if that meant you just sitting with them for comfort or to give them a warm hug. Some of my favorite memories of you range from going to Disneyland, watching Hallmark movies, especially the Christmas ones, and doing the day-to-day things, like going shopping at Walmart, Target, Bath and Body Works, and other ones like that. What's a new favorite memory that I have now, though? I needed to pick up my car from Amco, and you drove me down to get it. Afterward, you asked, "So, are you going to buy your mother for breakfast?" I jokingly gave you a hard time. I said, "What? I have to buy you breakfast?" You said, "Yes." I was, of course, going to, and suggested IHOP. You weren't meaning anything like that. You thought fast food, like Jack in the Box. Some were cheap, but as it was only the two of us, we thought IHOP like I suggested. I love that memory now, even though it's bittersweet. It was just you and I together, and I'll always cherish that forever. In the last 7 years, I've had to say goodbye to so many people that I love, but yours has undoubtedly been the hardest. Not only did it happen so fast, but we never got to say goodbye. I never got to hold your hand, hug you, and tell you that I love you one last time. I wish we could have had more time together, though I know there could never truly be enough time, not with you. This has been the most difficult time of my life. In just a few short months, my world has changed and not for the better. I didn't lose just my mother. I've lost my rock and my best friend, and I miss you more than words can say. Every day I think of you and miss you terribly. There's a piece of my heart that went with you the day you left us. A piece I'll never have back while I'm here in this life. My words just seem to fall short, and I can't fully describe just how much of an amazing mom and person you were. I love you, and neither time nor space can ever change that. I'm really glad I got to have you for a mom, and I deeply mean that. I couldn't have asked for better. Every day I need you, love you, and miss you. I always have, and I always will. I'm looking forward to the day that I get to see you again, and be counting down those moments. Love, your child. I had one more thing I wanted to share. I did write a poem for my mom. I'm not going to talk up all the time from everybody, I promise. But I wrote this right after she died because I needed an outlet to express all that I was feeling. I wrote this. How I wish you could know. How I wish you could know how much you mean to me, that even in death, you're still a part of me. The warmth within your smile, the kindness in your eyes. I wonder if you really were an angel here on earth in disguise. The tender love you gave me, the lessons you helped me learn, all the times you were there for me, I could never earn. You showed me how to love in such a way that I can make a difference, even if I don't know what to say. How I wish you could know how much you are still loved. I wish you were here instead of up above. You're the part of my heart that is in heaven. You're where the angels sing. You're covered in love and under the shelter of Jesus' wings. No one can take your place. No one ever will. I loved you dearly in life. In death, I love you still.
By the way, I know that it's hard for people to share, so if there's anyone who wants me to share for you, I'm okay with doing that. So I'm in the back there if anyone has anything that they want me to share for them.
I wish I could. One of my favorite memories of my mom was when I had failed to my driving test the first time. I was really crushed. And I went back the second time. So I was really nervous. I was just like, we were waiting for the guy to come in. I'm like, oh no, what if I fail again? She's like, no, it's okay. One of her favorite movies, Christmas movies, was Rudolph. So she kept telling me, you're my little buck. And I was like, but I'm a girl. Wouldn't I be a doe? And she was like, okay, you're my little doe. So we have a nickname. I kept calling her Mama Doe, and she called me Baby Doe. So, yep.
So I just want to say that I love my mom so
I always wanted to be just like her. And like when I was little, my sisters would be trying to cook dinner or something. I would be like, that's not how Mama does it. Because I love her so much and just thought everything she did was like perfect. She was always there for me. Like when I was younger and I was in cheerleading, she would always take me to the games, and even if they were far away in Ridgecrest, we would go up there together, and we just did so much together, just shopping and just everything, just meant so much, and just their days when we cooking together, or just like her cookies, she had her most amazing cookies, and yeah, I just wanted to say that she was just so amazing, so supportive. Anytime I was like in need, she was always there. A couple years ago, I had really bad jaw pain. It was like my teeth were really bad. And I woke up in the middle of the night crying because it was so bad. And I went in her room and I was just like, Mom, she always like, baby, what's wrong? and she just always was just like, she's like, okay, come here. She'd wake up in the middle of the night, didn't matter like what time. And she had me, she's like, you can lay by me and stuff. And she would take me everywhere. Even when I got my high school diploma, because I hadn't graduated, I went back to the adult school. She never wanted me to go down the hill by myself, so she was like, I'll go with you. So for like 2 years, every Monday, and it was Monday and Wednesday, she would go down and we would go to Wendy's and get some food and just spend time together. She was just the most amazing mom, and we had a nickname. I would say, like, see you later, alligator, and she'd be like, after a while, little crocodile. And she would always want me to call when I got to work and when I was coming home from work. And one time I was like, I gotta do this. I'd be running late and I'd be like, oh, I gotta call Mom. And then one day it just clicked. I was like, wow, she really loves me. She just wants to make sure that I'm okay. And it started to become just so precious to me. And I just want to say also that, 28 years is very short to have my mom. But if God told me, like, okay, I could give you a different mom, and you could have her like 50, 60 plus years, or this one, only 28, I would pick her again and again. She was my best friend. I would miss her. And I'm grateful that in Christ there's no goodbyes. Just see you later. You'll see you later, alligator. Love you, Mom.
Wow, it's a hard act to fall, not an act, for real. I mean, you guys, you girls and your brother, just amazing. And son-in-law, I know that she would call you that. Cheryl was my friend. Cheryl and I did women's ministry together. Every Tuesday morning, we would be here, and she would be here early, and we would have everything ready before the ladies came, and then also she would have everything ready when the kids came. And I always knew that I could depend on Cheryl because she took everything very seriously, and she loved the kids fiercely. And we always knew that we could depend on her because she would always show up. Here in the mountains, we have snow often, and you never know what's going to happen till the day of. Sometimes, so if school is out, that means that women's ministry is out and childcare is out. But you often don't know that till like really early in the morning. So, and you guys live on a street that's pretty tough with snow and ice. And sometimes she would call me and she's like, Sandy, I don't know if I can get out. So I would go up and get her, and sometimes and take her back home. And it's hard to get in and out, so we'd have to tromp along on the ice and everything, but we'd always get here when we needed to be here, and I was just so grateful for her friendship and dependability, and I feel very similar to her in that we were the same age, and I have 3 children, she has 4 children, but we both had just such a love of children, and looking at the pictures, she growing up in Christmas, it's just like my childhood, 60s and 70s, because all those things were similar. The trees look the same, everything. And Rod and I got married in the 80s, like you guys got married, and so our lives were very parallel, having kids and things like that. And then when she had Serena, oh my goodness, Serena was like, woo, just a little princess came to the next generation. And when Jenny got married, she was so happy and so happy to have Brenton, and then so we got to share that because my grandson is the same age as Serena. So we would always laugh about that, you know, our grandkids came into the world at the same time like that. And like she used to make, for all the moms on Mother's Day with Jenny and the girls, she would make special little treats and every holiday and things like that. And I know that she took pictures with Jenny of like all the kids, and like I had magnets that said Happy Mother's Day with, and she would always make sure, even though my grandson was in Colorado, she'd always make sure that she had a current picture of him from my phone, so she could make a little magnet for my refrigerator. And she was just so thoughtful about that, which was really, really great. She loved you, Chuck, so much. You guys would sit behind us in church. We always knew you sat in the same little area, you know, and you know, right there, and the kids would be there. We always felt supported and loved because you guys are good huggers, and you would always give us hugs. And I hope we gave you good enough hugs back because you guys are really good at that. So Cheryl, I'm going to miss Cheryl so much because, oh gosh, when I was watching those pictures, it was like, oh my goodness, Tuesday morning isn't going to be the same. But I know that she would want you to continue on just like her, and she's prepared you, all of you, and she does live on inside you. And Jenny, you're an excellent mom, and you know, Sandy and Susie and Robert back there, you know, there is the part of her that she has poured out her life to you. And she loved being a stay-at-home mom. She put you as her top priority, and Chuck, and she is still a wonderful legacy. And even though it seems too short a time that you have her here, 28 years, you said, right? And each of you different, but it is short, because I lost my mom 20 years ago, or not 20 years, in 2020. And I had her for 84 years, you know. But you know what? It's not how long you have sometimes, it's how deep you have in the relationship. And God knows the number of our days, whatever it is going to take, you know. Some it's short, some it's long, but He wants us to invest our talents and our time and our treasures. And I think Cheryl did that so well. And she invested in all of you for this next generation. And it's very evident you're carrying on in that way. And even though it's going to be hard, just remember she's with you every day. I think she's happy watching you guys so proud of you, each sharing and caring and pouring out your love. And I know it was disappointing, you know, when she was in the hospital and you don't get to be with her. It just seems so criminal that we're not able to be with our loved ones during that period. But you know what? God is faithful, and you guys held on to Him during your heartache and missing her and wishing you could be there, and that it just went so up and down and out of our control. But God's faithful, and she would want you, and I know that she knew how loved she was. She knew how loved she was. She knew if she